eyes are just incapable of comprehending. Still, that does not mean that they are not there. Believe me, there are sometimes moments when you may be able to catch glimpses of the worlds within your own. These so-called ghosts or spirits that many people see, or at least claim to have seen, are from those realms. If you see something, do not let anyone convince you it was just your mind playing tricks on you, because it most likely was not. However, what you have seen is not a ghost, or even a spirit. The things you glimpse, the shadows, the full-bodied figures, I suppose the most accurate term to describe them is demons. We are able to catch glimpses of one other dimension in our world when the demonic presences within it want to be seen. Experts call this realm Pandora's box. The presences within it collectively create enough energy to merge the dimensions together, even just for a short while, and then they toy with us. They dance on the edges of our vision, playing with our fragile minds. Hey, I just saw that. Wait, did I? Don't worry, it's gone. This is their way of creating fun. It is also important to keep in mind that just because you cannot see them all the time does not mean they are not standing next to you as you read this. Please be careful where you do read this, as I have heard that they do not take all too kindly to being discovered. You may be wondering why I am telling you all of this. Trust me, there is a point to my ramblings. You see, humans are curious creatures. What I mean by that is when humans hear about subjects such as this one, they want to experience it for themselves. This instinct is common amongst the majority of people on Earth. I am not entirely sure what it is, but for some reason the idea of another realm within your world gets your mind racing. There is a way you can see them. The ritual below, once performed, enhances the eyesight of the subject performing it. However, this alone is not enough. Two rituals have been merged into one to allow the subject to not only enhance their eyesight, but also to summon Sine. Sine is a demon located within Pandora's box. She rarely shows herself and can usually only be summoned. This particular method below summons Sine and invites her to play the game with you. Below are the instructions on how to beat Sine. However, please be warned that you will be closing the gap between alternate realms. And although only Sine will be called, you will still be opening the door for many others within Pandora's box. Items you will need: earplugs, or anything to stuff in your ears in order to minimize sound reception, nose plugs, or anything to block your nose and reduce smell reception, a piece of cloth, preferably old, however new ones can still work, a glass of iced water, a compass with one side of the needle colored in red, a magnet. It does not need to be a powerful one, but one will definitely be of use. A mirror, a watch or time-telling device. Phones are not recommended as they become a reflective surface when turned off. A camera. Make sure the battery is full. This will come in handy later. A salt shaker. You will need at least 1 cup of salt. A darkened room. The room does not have to be pitch black. However, this is of course preferable. Lots of hiding spots within your place of residence, or wherever you choose to perform the ritual. A place of residence, an open or abandoned building, or any building with multiple rooms and hiding places to perform the ritual in. Simple rules. Cover all mirrors and windows in the building. Do not lose focus at any point in the ritual. This will result in the loss of the game. Do not lose the game. Losing the game results in death or possession. If you happen to lose the game, the only thing left is to pray that Sine kills you quickly. Be careful. You are closing the gap between alternate realms and are solely responsible for whatever may come through. Be prepared. Anything can happen during this game, and you must be equipped to handle whatever happens. Performing the ritual. The aim of the game is to take a photograph of Sine at precisely 23 past 12 o'clock. This can be during the day or at night. I am not too sure what significance that particular time holds. All I do know is that when the photo is taken at that time, it signals the end of the game. Before you do anything else, to prepare the house you must cover all reflective surfaces in the house, mirrors and windows, because you start the ritual off staring into a mirror of your choice, which will be the only mirror you do not need to cover, as you will seal the room. All mirrors and reflective surfaces in your house then become gateways. If you happen to pass by a window or reflective surface whilst playing the game, Sine will appear behind you and you will lose the game. Do not let this happen. Prepare yourself beforehand by covering all mirrors. Now that the house has been prepared properly, you must enter the darkened room and close the door. This ritual should be done preferably at night, as it will take much longer during the day. Take out the compass and lay it on the floor. The direction that the red half of the needle is facing in will be the opposite spot you need to place the mirror. For example, if the red part of the needle is facing into the left corner of the room, place the mirror on the opposite side to the left corner of the room, as close to the wall as possible, and preferably touching it. Once this is achieved, you must lay the piece of cloth on the floor. It is preferable if the cloth is old, as it will have a stronger connection to Pandora's box than a new cloth will. However, if a new cloth is all you can get, it should still work. It will only take longer. You must place this cloth about 1 meter from the mirror, directly in front of it. You are then to sit behind the piece of cloth, staring directly into the mirror. Pour a small pile of salt onto the cloth, and then place the camera on top of the salt. The cloth then acts as an anchor between Earth and Pandora's box. Placing salt on top of it and placing the camera on top of that pile makes sure your camera is unaffected and will not become a conduit for possession. However, the camera is needed to signify an invitation to play the game. Once these steps have been completed, sit down behind the cloth facing the mirror. Block your nose with the plugs, or whatever you have to cut off smell, and put in the earplugs. Place your hands into the glass of water and sit with your mouth open. This is to shut out all other senses and to allow your vision to focus entirely. Focus on your reflection in the mirror. Stare at the shape of your body, the outline of your face. Memorize your entire shape, and then begin to focus on the details. Observe the way you move your eyes or your nose. Look at all the shapes that make you. Do not become distracted. If you are not in complete focus, Sine may appear behind you instead of in another room. This would be disastrous, as you would surely lose the game. Do not lose the game. After you become completely focused, your vision will become enhanced. I'm not entirely sure why this works, but for some reason it just does. Accept it and move on, because now the game begins. If you have completed the ritual correctly, Sine should have appeared in one of the various rooms of the house. The red part of the compass needle should switch to whichever direction Sine is now in. Take your hands out of the icy water and pick up the camera. Make sure you have the compass with you at all times. This is the only piece of equipment that you have which will constantly track where Sine is. Wherever the red part of the needle points, that's where Sine is inside your house. If it begins to vigorously shake back and forth, Sine is close. However, your main priority now is to escape. Get out of the dark room and do not come back to it at all during the night. Salt the bottom of the door and then shut it. If there are 2 or more entrances to the room, salt them all. You must not re-enter this room until the game finishes. Now, find a hiding spot. Remain hidden there and gather your things. Make sure the camera is on. Take a look at your compass. The worst thing that can happen is if the red needle of your compass points directly down. This means that Sine is behind you. If Sine is behind you, you lose the game. After you make sure everything is in order, it is time to begin. Use the compass to search for Sine. Make sure the red part of the compass never points straight down. This is disastrous. Follow the direction of the compass. It will lead you to Sine's location. You should, however, avoid Sine until the time is 23 past 12 o'clock. The only way you can win the game is if you successfully capture a photo of Sine at exactly 23 minutes past 12. Again, this can be in the middle of the night, or if you are unsuccessful the first time, you can play for another 12 hours and hope to catch a photo of Sine at 23 past 12 during the day. This brings me to another important point. You must be prepared to play the game for 12 hours or more in case you are unable to take a photo of Sine the first time. It is never as easy as it sounds. If you fail to capture a photo the first time, you must play for another 12 hours until 23 past 12 o'clock comes around again. At about 3 minutes until the appointed time to take the photo, you must begin to slowly make your way to Sine. If you happen to see Sine at any other point in time, you will lose the game. When the clock strikes 23 minutes past 12, snap a photo of Sine and the game will be over. This is the only way you can win. If you do not run and hide and evade Sine for the next 12 hours until you get a second chance. If you win, congratulations. Sine will return to Pandora's box, and you will be left with a photo of dancing lights, proving your your escape from Sine. Your eyesight will have been enhanced before the commencement of the game, so if you do happen to make your way to Sine to take the photograph, you will be able to see her. I must warn you now that there is no possible guide I can write to prepare you for what she looks like. She is a disfigured, grotesque manifestation of terror and darkness. She is a perfect metaphor for everything that Pandora's box is. You cannot do anything to prepare yourself to be standing in her presence. You might be thinking that the above description is extremely vague. This is because I do not know for certain what Sine looks like. All I know is that she is undeniably fearsome. I suppose this is the main reason why no one has ever won the ritual before.